Have you guys ever gone dumpster diving and seen the things that get thrown out by grocery stores or, even a department store? If the packaging is messed up, they just throw the whole thing out. Or Home Depot or Lowe's. Like sometimes if you go back into the landscaping department, if there's a rip or a tear in, like, say, a bag of rocks or a bag of mulch, they deeply discount that product. Now imagine you worked for one of these companies and you realized that you had an opportunity to game the system, that you could purposely damage the product because upon your boss discovering it was damaged, your boss would tell you to throw it out, right? And not just write it off, but you would know that that product is sitting back in the dumpster and you could go and get it, and then you could turn around and sell it and make a profit on it yourself. You have no overhead for your business now. You just have products coming in that you can turn around and sell for your own benefit. Our healthcare system is a lot like that. Our mental health care system is a lot like that. We live in a culture, in a world that is made up of systems and institutions that have discovered that there is a lot of money to be made by damaging the people that make up that system. And then charging the people to fix or treat the ailment that they've created. We broke you, but we're going to fix you. But there's not even an admittance or taking of responsibility of how you've been broken by the system. You'll get blamed and told you were faulty, you came out of the factory faulty, like you showed up here on the shelf damaged goods. But hey, we're going to rescue you, and it only costs this amount of money. Okay, this is a warning, guys. If you love yourself, if you love your family, please don't get caught up in the system. Now, some people have a lot of money and they can pay for the best kind of care. And that care is usually some form of private care, right? You can hire someone who's working outside of the system, maybe a naturopath or an herbalist or a body worker, someone who's taken on the responsibility of actually learning holistically and studying how everything is connected and understanding that we are more than just these bodies, right? That our emotions impact our health, that our upbringing, that our culture, that our community, that what we're eating, like all of these things impact us. And actually all of these things that are impacting us have been infiltrated by something toxic, by something dark that is actually seeking to break us down, to weaken us, to make us sick, to make us vulnerable, so that we can be preyed upon for the sake of profit. It's normal in this world to feel anxious at times. It's normal to feel depressed because our needs as human beings are not being met by the system. We are serving the system. The system is not serving us. That will manifest as sickness and illness and disease. What needs to be addressed is the culture. And if you can't change the culture, what you have to do is you have to remove yourself from it. You have to find and make another way. That's the answer. That's the answer. I know most people are strapped for money. Most people are running on a treadmill, barely getting by these days. And if you have kids and your kids start presenting with anxiety or their teachers come to you and say, oh, they have some sort of learning disability or ADHD or this or that, and they need to be medicated. Or it's just a way for your kid to get caught up in the system potentially. Now, obviously, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not claiming that mental illness is not a thing. But what I am saying to you is most illnesses are a symptom. And at the root of that, we need to address the root cause of it. Okay? State hospitals are among the worst places you could ever wish for a child or anybody to be. You will receive the worst kind of care, and you will come out more damaged more often than not. Because people are overworked and underpaid, and the system has every incentive to gobble you up and keep you in its belly and turn you into a pill puppet for life. Particularly when we're talking about mental health, guys. Be careful. Be careful. And with all the chaos that's going on in the world right now, we're going to see more and more people exhibiting signs of mental illness. We're going to see actual mental illness. But it's not because you, as a person, came out of the factory bad. It's because you came out of the factory and were put into a culture and into a world that was not conducive to your flourishing as a human being. You're unfurling. You're blooming. Okay? We don't have the proper soil. We don't have the proper nutrients to become what it is that God intended us to be. We all have a destiny. But in order to achieve that destiny, there are certain fundamental needs that have to be met. We have to have a supportive community. We have to feel safe. We have to feel seen. We have to know that we are children of God, intrinsically worthy of love, and that there is nothing we have to do to prove that. We have to know all that, and we have to feel safe to explore the world, right? And to be vulnerable. Because we lose our vulnerability because we're scared. That's when we start to lose our humanity, and we're surrounded by people who've lost their humanity because they're scared. And they're scared for good reason. We have to take personal responsibility, and doing so at a time such as this it's been set up so that that's very difficult. It's like swimming upstream when you are in a world that promotes convenience and strives to have you become addicted to comforts and all kinds of things that are not in your best interest. All kinds of things that will ultimately make you sick and make you a victim and make you fodder for this beast. Our power lies in stepping away from it, not feeding it, not giving into it, doing the hard work. It's a lot easier to drop your loved one off at a mental hospital when they're exhibiting signs of extreme anxiety or depression, or they're feeling like they don't want to be alone, and you think, oh, I gotta go to work, I ain't got time for this. Like, no. We need each other. Okay? Let's not keep feeding each other to this damn system that doesn't care about us. I've seen things that I want to say I wish I had never seen, but of course I'm glad I saw it, because now I can tell other people what's going on behind closed doors. There are people who are being tortured, people being tied down, people being drugged against their will, people being put in closets, tied to wheelchairs, facing walls, drugged up, so that they stay out of the way. And that's what we call mental health care in this world. In a lot of situations, like the people who need the most love and attention and gentleness, they're manhandled, they're drugged, they're treated like a nuisance, verbally abused, laughed at. I've seen it all. I've seen horrible, horrible things, guys. And I've seen it in 3 different states and many different hospitals. It's not like I just had a weird off-handed encounter. No, I know that it's everywhere. And it's that our institutions are rotting from the inside out. And please be aware of that. It's on purpose. So we have to live on purpose, and we have to be very intentional and aware of the waters we're swimming in. There are monsters lurking. And I'm not saying that to make people scared. I'm telling you to make you aware, because guess what? If you don't acknowledge there's a shark swimming up behind you, that doesn't make the shark go away. It just ensures that you will get eaten by the shark. Maybe you want to get out of the water. Maybe you want to move somewhere else. Okay? Maybe you want to go on down the beach. So, that's all. It's just, we deserve better. And by that I don't mean we deserve to be treated better by others. Of course we do, but that starts with ourselves. We have to start treating ourselves better, which means not putting ourselves in the way of people who won't treat us well, or systems that won't treat us well. Certainly not serving systems that don't treat us well. Systems are supposed to be made for us. Have we all realized by now, with the advent of AI and robots that are taking our jobs and doing all of our thinking for us, that we have now become the battery that they're feeding off of? They're sucking our intelligence, our light, all of our abilities, and they are becoming what we once were, and now we are becoming obsolete because we are making ourselves impotent. We are becoming more lazy and more stupid. And our bodies are not as strong. Our immune systems are not as strong. We have more people than ever who are obese and suffering from autism and all sorts of autoimmune deficiencies and disorders. Like, it's because we are not taking responsibility. We are relying totally on a system that doesn't care about us.